to the real black metal. And there is this other kind of death metal which is more technical and whose lyrics will deal mostly with political views or these positive views or just about zombie spirit stories and all that.
I personally am against separating music and trying to put names on something that really the only way you're gonna get is if you hear it.
I mean, the perfect example is Samoth, who used to be doing the whole Emperor thing, went over to do Cyclone, which is a very cool death metal band. So, to me, that tells me that I don't think that's really happening. Maybe it happened in the beginning when black metal was young and kind of naive and everybody was being really extreme.
These bands started turning up on MTV and they're talking about surfing and talking about, you know, all this stuff that just had absolutely nothing to do with the music. And it sounds trivial, but I suppose metal being such a cliquey kind of thing, you know, people turn up wearing shorts and jogging suits and all this kind of stuff, and an awful lot of people just wanted metal, death metal, to just go back to the way it was, which was crude and ugly.
We were really fed up with the whole death metal thing anyway. Of course, Euronymous had always pointed that out, because whenever I would even bring him like first Autopsy demo to his house, you know, like in 88, 89, and I'd play it and like, listen to this fucking rules, and he would be more like, well, it's okay, and he would like just put on some mutilated, you know, from France.
Black metal is also different because it's not like it's a huge family. We are not all friends because we wear a Darkthrone t-shirt or have long hair or something. There is no links between all of us. We feel more attached to people that are into extremism or into more satanic arts than just people who do black metal because they're used to do it. Black metal is the contrary of everything.
In general, it's black metal is about having a satanic approach and more serious about it, you know. And lots of death metal bands have more or less a socialist, common socialist approach, used to have it at least. And so the ideas and the concept behind it is very different.
I think that it is the lyrics, because they are too out of nowhere in death metal bands. If you compare it to black metal, many black metal players live as they preach, or at least they should do that. But not that many death metal band players eat rotten corpses or vomit maggots or things like that, which they say in their lyrics.
They all came from the same originators, you know, and we're virtually doing the same thing, just in a little bit of a different manner, you know.
Don't forget that when black metal got started in Norway, most of the people involved were teenagers.
Right.
Not necessarily the most mentally evolved people. So attitudes are definitely going to be a little bit naive or, you know, overly cynical. So, you know, I mean, people are going to change. So, I mean, maybe you got some kids going, well, fucking death metal, that's fucking... It's shitty, it's commercial, it's horrible, and they put on some corpse paint and go into the fucking woods and take some pictures. I don't know, but I mean, that's exactly what we did. And then you kind of go, 5 years later, you kind of think, well, that was a bit fucking dumb.
Yeah. Over time, they began to, of course, come back to the fact that Morbid Angel and stuff were just simply great bands, but at the time, I guess they needed something to react against almost as well, you know, and, you know, a lot of it, the whole MTV thing, and the bands were selling, you know, 300,000-400,000 copies of albums, and I think it was just about time that people started to take the underground back again, you know, to the old ways, the tape trading and the 7 inches and the underground fanzines, and they just got sick of the way things were being portrayed, and about bands who, it seemed to them, didn't mean what they were singing about.
Extreme death metal is very close to the real extreme black metal. It's dealing about violence, but different ways to express this violence and this evil spirit. And kind of this, let's say, happy death metal will be very close to most of these black metal bands today, which just do that because that's what they used to do. And in fact, they don't care really about Satanism and all that.
We didn't change because anyone told us to. It was more like we saw old albums in a new light, and it was the black metal feeling came, and then you really couldn't continue playing technical death metal, so to say. I was totally uninterested in making riffs that were like 7, 8 rhythms or 14, 16 rhythms and things like this. We just made a decision to become primitive, or to play what we basically were listening to, and we still play that style, totally primitive shit.
As years passed, going through the 90s especially, I think a lot of people would agree that a lot of the music, the metal, started to become politically correct.
I think that every human being have the same rights, as I have.